there's a painting studio, a sculpture studio, X, Y, Z, and O. All these different things. And there's hours, like they're all open from 9 to 12 and from 1 to 5.
Wow.
Right? All these places are open. And you could go to anyone you want, anytime you want. And you're free to do whatever you want within reason.
Right.
So it was kind of like being homeschooled again, actually. Like I got to pursue my own interests. So I did that, and then I got back to school, and then I hated school. Like, I was not into school. It wasn't good. Yeah.
How did it feel? Because being homeschooled is a very cool thing, right? You can learn because you really want to learn.
Yeah.
Then how did the transition between high school and college, was college more similar or more different from homeschool? Was it more relaxing?
College is more similar to high school, definitely. Because you have to do things in college. There's things you have to do at certain times. More pressure, and it's like, even though you get to choose what you want, it's still incredibly structured. Like, you have to go to class, you have to do this assignment, you have to do this reading. So the transition from high school to college, each of those things are more similar than college and homeschooling. However, the transition from high school to college was more difficult than homeschooling to high school.
How?
It was most likely because of the age difference. I feel like that once you're sort of forming who you are in high school, you're immediately removed from that, and it's sort of shocking. Because who I was at that point in time, the change I experienced from freshman year of high school to senior year of high school I'm guessing is probably greater than the change I've experienced from freshman year of college to sophomore year of college. Although that still is a huge change in the way I think about the world. So I think that through such a great change, and I found out who I was immediately taken and put in another place, and I had to rethink everything. And who I was. How? So I got from going from high school to college. I acted the same way I did in high school, which did me well. I got to know many people, and everyone knew me as the guy who knew everybody at the beginning of freshman year.
Right.
Yeah, so that was good. I definitely picked up on being around so many intellectual people. Because in high school, everyone goes to high school. And a lot of the people I hung out with, no one tried very much in school. Most of my friends would get like very low grades, like D's, always, because no one really cared. So I was around a bunch of people who didn't care, and so it sort of rubbed off on me to just not really think critically about the world and my interactions and the way I move through systems. So getting to college, the friends I made introduced me to different ways of thinking and that being critical is actually a very useful thing to be.
But before, you was already very critical, not necessarily about academic matters, but like about life matters, such as...
No, I'm not talking academics, I'm talking life.
Right?
Yeah, I'm still talking about life. But you was already very critical. I was critical to a point, because I was critical, but being around the people I was, I sort of wasn't acting to my full potential.
Right.
Like, it was the kind of thing, like, I got good grades, but I didn't tell anyone I got good grades. Like, when people found out, like, if someone found out I would get A's and B's in classes, they were like, what? You get good? You do good? And everyone thought, like, I didn't do my homework. Everyone would always be surprised when they found out, like, I do my homework. Like, you do your homework? I'm like, yeah. Like, you don't seem like you do homework.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, I gotta do homework, man, because my mom will be pissed at me.
But the fact that you could accomplish your homework and your academic work while still being able to hang out with all your friends.
Oh yeah, it
was something.
Yeah, no.
I don't think a lot of people can do so.
Well, it's because high school was really easy for me. Like, it was ridiculously easy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't do anything in high school. Like, I wasted my time there. Like, I didn't waste my time.
Mm-hmm.
I had a great time with the friends I had there.
Mm-hmm.
However, academically, I definitely wasted my time because
mm-hmm.
I wouldn't do anything. Like,
mm-hmm.
I was able, it's not important. I just didn't do much in high school.
Okay.
So, I think the transition from high school to college is so recent that I don't have such an objective view of it.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
Because I'm sort of still experiencing it in a way.
The time to reflect.
Yeah, I haven't had enough time to reflect about it, but I'll from what I can think of, definitely, okay, PC culture was absolutely a new thing for me.
PC culture?
Yeah. Have you heard of PC culture?
Mm.
PC culture is like, you can't say that, that's politically incorrect, or that marginalizes this group of people. Or,
especially at Earlham.
Yeah, especially at Earlham.
Mm.
And
it's also a new thing for me.
Yeah, see, like, I don't feel comfortable sharing all the time, like, my experience of, like, distancing myself from white people, because a lot of people would say that is a wrong thing to do, and what I did is not right.
But you are at a very liberal college. It may be an encouraged thing for many people.
I don't know, though. I don't know. See, I have no idea, because I'm not super educated about it, but, my reason for what I did is I didn't know better. And I don't think what I did was all that wrong, honestly. But if people are upset with what I did, I was 14 years old. And I did how I felt, as most 14-year-olds do. Like, you act very much on instinct without little thought. So, there's that. So PC culture was a new thing for me because people weren't very PC where I'm from.
Did you ever encounter a case when people showed negative reaction to what you did? Because
negative what?
Reaction, because
no.
I was always careful with that.
So, interestingly enough, if I do tell people that I went to school with predominantly Black and Hispanic people, oh, that makes sense.
No.
And I was like, that's weird.
Why does it make sense, right?
Yeah, I know. So I'm like, why does that make sense? And then I had these girls come up to me, and one who's Black, she asked me, she was like, Dante, her name is Sydney Orjicare. I would highly believe she remembers this event. I was sitting in the coffee shop eating a little snack by myself. She comes to sit next to me with Laura Khalifa, and she asks me, she's like, Dante, are you all white? And I was like, do I look like I'm anything else? And she's like, you can't be all white. Are you mixed or something? And I was like, nope. And she's like, and I ask her, why do you think I'm mixed? She's like, you're too cool to be white. And I was like, thanks, I guess. I'm white. So that still happens. And last night, my roommate's Prosby said to me, he was like, bro, you ain't white. And I was like, yeah, I am, bro. He's like, nah, you're your own creature, man. And I was like, what does that mean? So that's still a thing. Now, this is an interesting trend I have noticed in my life. And I don't know if this is true or not, but it's what I've noticed. And it's really weird. So, I think most people like me. I think most people, I think more people like me than the people who dislike me. You know what I mean? They're definitely out there. People dislike me, but I think the people who like me outnumber the people who dislike me. So I actually tend to get into arguments all the time. People will argue with me, and I get into people try to fight me a lot. So, people I get into arguments with, and people who react negatively to me and who have bad impressions of me and don't like me when they first meet me are almost always white women. Majority of the time. and it's weird.
Why? Do you suppose, like...
Okay, so what I suppose is that, like, so people have, like, I'm basing all this on what people say, is that I don't act white, right?
What does it mean to act white?
Yeah, what does it mean to act white and what does it mean to act black? I have no idea. However, the populace says that I don't act white, whatever the hell that means. So the way I act is sort of not traditional for who I am. So I think that the white women see this and it makes them angry because I'm not acting in a predictable manner in which I should be acting. I'm not in the box.
And why women, not men?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. That is an interesting question. But yeah. I don't know why.
How did you know that they got angry at you?
Because they argue with me.
Oh.
And I can tell that they don't like me. You can tell when people don't like you.
Right?
Yeah. So, that happens.
How about white men? Is there anything significant?
No.
No?
No, not very.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's very strange. It's very, very strange.
So from your special, how can I describe it, background or identity, how do you see the current political turmoil in this country?
So,
from a very cultural perspective.
Yeah, so, I see it as a definitive product of what white people did. And so basically, like, just the beliefs instilled within white people about black people and the beliefs they held towards them have gotten us to where we are, because like it's like residual. Most of this is like residual. It's all residual from slavery and how we messed everything up. I think that everything black people are saying should be said, and I think that it all needs to be said.
But also, I don't believe that a lot of people, especially like a lot of white people, have the privilege that you have, right? Because
what privilege?
Like, for example, the kids at the rich camp you mentioned, I don't think they have a lot of exposure to reality, and I don't think a lot of kids have like the homeschooling mother, or have the parents with like very open So, not many people are like you, and you can tell by the fact that not many people are like you, right? Not many white people are like you. And how can we blame them? Because what they do right now is only a natural result of their particular background and education.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's true though. Like it is my best guess. And this is the thing. This is why my experience and the way I view my identity is somewhat of an issue, is because as a white person, I've had the privilege to do this. You know?
Right.
Like, and so basically it's like you can say that I have a better view than most white people, but when it comes down to it, I am white and I don't understand.